This video reviews 3 verbal operants: echoic behavior, intraverbal behavior, and tact behavior. Let's start with echoic behavior. Echoic behavior is a verbal operant that is occasioned by a verbal stimulus. Echoic behavior is maintained by generalized conditioned reinforcement, for which there is point-to-point correspondence between the stimulus and the response. Because of this point-to-point correspondence, the stimulus and the response are identical. Simply put, echoic behavior is when a speaker repeats what has just been said. Here's an example of echoic behavior in the classroom.
Popcorn, popcorn, nice job!
And here's an example of echoic behavior in real life.
What's your phone number? 413-413-668-668 6868-5252.
Now let's talk about intraverbal behavior. Intraverbal behavior is a verbal operant that is occasioned by a verbal stimulus. Intraverbal behavior is maintained by generalized conditioned reinforcement, for which there is no point-to-point correspondence between the stimulus and the response. This means that the stimulus and the response are not identical. Rather, intraverbal responses are arbitrary and established by the verbal community. Simply put, intraverbal behavior occurs when what one person says, which is the response, is based on what another person has said, which is the stimulus, but the stimulus and the response are not identical. Here's an example of intraverbal behavior in the classroom.
What's your name? Liz, nice job!
And here's an example of intraverbal behavior in real life.
Hey, what'd you do today? Today I ran a course assessment and then I wrote a draft of my case student's IEP. How fun.
Now let's review tact behavior. Tact behavior is a verbal operant that is occasioned by a nonverbal stimulus. Tact behavior is maintained by generalized conditioned reinforcement, for which there is no point-to-point correspondence. Simply put, a tact is a verbal response that labels or names an item, action, or item property in the environment. Here's an example of tact behavior in the classroom.
What is it? A cup. Nice job!
Here's an example of tact behavior in our daily lives.
Oh, it's raining. I know, that sucks. Yeah.
Thanks for watching!